he's crying! No! Hello again, team. It's Jess or JashiiCorrin, and welcome back for another video. Today I'm going to be doing something similar to what I did around this time last year, where I set up the same layout multiple times, but each subsequent time I set it up, I give myself less time to do it. So the first time I set it up, I'll give myself an hour. The second time I do it, I'll give myself 15 minutes. The third time I do it, I'll give myself 5 minutes, and the last time I'll give myself 1 minute. Now, as I said that, I'll probably chuck in a 15-second one as well, because it doesn't take that long. The layout that I'm going to be recreating is this one from Barbara of Barbara Hager Art over on Instagram. And the kind of criteria that we're looking for in a successful recreation is all of the different elements on the page, so the spaces for each day and the decorative elements. Making sure that it still looks somewhat like the original, so having the same colours and the same spacing. Before we jump into it, just a reminder that any of the equipments I use in these setups are linked in the description box below. And getting started on the 1 hour layout in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh god, I need a pen. Shit. Just like the first time I did this challenge, this time around I was consistently freaking out about how much time I had left. Honestly, for a layout like this, one that I'm not very familiar with and does have a few decorative elements, if I was trying to recreate this properly, it probably would have taken me longer than an hour. Because it is a recreation and I'm trying to get things in the right spaces and with the same amount of spacing, it did mean that a lot of time was dedicated to making sure things were where they're supposed to be. Part of this also involved using lettering styles that I don't typically use in my journal. For instance, for the days of the week here, and especially where the letter A is concerned, this isn't typically how I would write an A, so making sure that it actually looked decent took a little bit longer than would usually take for me. As you can see on this 1 hour setup, I first went in with pencil to sketch out where everything was going to go and draw in the decorations. I kind of wish I had have done this before I did the border around the outside of the page, because as it turns out, the border doesn't actually completely go around the page. The top right corner is supposed to be left out, but sadly that's something I realized a little bit too late. The nice part about going in with pencil first is that I could actually get things in the right place without having committed to the pen, which means that when I do go in with the pen, things look a lot neater, a lot better spaced, and a lot more like the original. This is why in the weekly layouts that I do use in my day-to-day journal, I like to go in with pencil first. Depending on the intricacy of my designs, it can add a lot of time to setting up a layout, but it does save time in the long run, considering I then don't have to fix as many mistakes. At this point we're about 20 minutes in and I've just finished my pencil work, which means it's time to add some colour. For all of the colours in this spread, I'm using my Tombow dual brush markers in 4 different shades, so 2 shades of yellow, 1 for lime green, and then a really pale grey. For all of the black sections, I'm using a combination of my Pet Artist pens in the size F and S, and I also made use of the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen with the hard tip. This isn't a pen that I use very often, so when it came to doing the script lettering, I actually just opted in for using foligraphy. Last time I did this challenge, I made a couple of changes in terms of the colours that we used on my version versus the original, but this time I tried to make it as similar as possible to the original spread. Putting up a reference image here, you can see that the colouring that I've gone with is really similar to the original, but I must say that Barbara's ability to draw her doodles is much better than my ability to draw her doodles. I really like the difference in line thickness that she's used to add a bit more depth to her drawing, whereas in my version, I don't really feel like I've achieved this. Along with this one, Barbara does some really awesome layouts that she posts over on her Instagram, so I do recommend you guys all check her out. There's a link to this original post in the description box below, but from there, of course, you can go and have a look at the other things she posts too. She has some really super cute layouts. As you can see though, this layout roughly has each page divided into 8 sections, where on the left hand side you have 4 sections dedicated for days of the week, 1 section for a mini calendar, a section for the goal of the week, a section for a list of some description, and a space for a doodle down the bottom. And then for the page on the right, we have 3 sections, which are for the days of the week. We have the 2 sections at the top, which are combined to be the header for the page, a space for a quote, and then the 2 remaining spaces for doodles. I actually quite like this layout, and I think I might try and use something similar to it in the holiday period I have coming up. It probably wouldn't be suitable for a regular school week, just because there's not probably enough space to write down everything I need to do. But for during the holidays when I don't have to record anything school related, I think it could be quite good. Given the amount of decoration on this layout, it's not typically one that I would try out for myself. When it comes to finding inspiration on Instagram, I'm usually drawn towards the kind of layouts that are similar to the style that I usually do, just because I know that then they're going to be achievable with my current skill set. That's not to say that I don't love the super decorated and artistic looking spreads, because I certainly do. It's just that when it comes to trying to find inspiration for layouts that I want to try, I try to avoid the super artistic ones because I know that if I do end up trying those, I'm going to end up getting frustrated at myself because I can't get it to look like it looks like in the picture. Does that make sense? Going completely against that though, I would love to know which super artistic Instagram accounts for bullet journaling do you guys follow? Although these aren't the ones that I typically gravitate towards, finding their work for challenges like these has been really enjoyable. Here we're coming up to the final stretch, so I have all of the elements that I need to on the page, and now I'm just going in and making sure all of the colours are in, all of the finer details that I have the time to put in are in. Doing this layout in the 1 hour was certainly one of those scenarios of overestimating the amount of time you had initially, and then freaking out as the time started to decrease. I know for sure that my colouring of my doodles was not as well done as I probably would have liked it to be. And I probably didn't really give myself enough time to add as much detail to the doodles as I would have liked. But in terms of how the final layout actually looks, I am pretty pleased. Coming to the end of this one though, the final things that I had to do was touch up some of those yellow highlights and then erase the pencil. Stop. Okay, cancel. Alright. Alrighty, so we have all of the elements on the page. I did kind of stuff up in this corner a bit because this kind of cloud bubble box thing is supposed to go all the way to the edges and the border's supposed to stop before that. But because I put the border in first and then went back and had a look at the reference picture, yep, didn't get that one quite right. But I do have all of the decoration, and it is fairly similar to the original. I have no idea what this is gonna look like if I do it in 15 minutes or less, because honestly, I used like pretty much all of the time that I gave myself in the full hour. So flipping over and changing my timer to 15 minutes. Alrighty, we can do this. We've got this. In 3, 2, 1, go. One of the nice things about doing these time trial challenges is that it really helps me identify ways that I can save time when I'm setting up my own layouts. One thing would be not using a ruler. Even though I love my ruler and there's no way I'm going to stop using it, it does certainly take way less time to freehand lines than it does to use my ruler to draw them straight. As we spoke about before, another thing you can do is not draw out everything in pencil first, though this does save on the making mistakes front. As I've also talked about in a previous video, limiting the number of supplies that you're making use of when setting up a spread can also help to limit the amount of time you're spending, because then you don't have to switch between your pens and all of that kind of stuff. Ah! Oh well. Thursday, Friday. Obviously, if you're trying to set up a spread quickly, dry time is probably something you want to consider. Using coated paper like we've got in the LT 1917 will increase the amount of time it takes for pens to dry, similar to using quite inky pens or other materials. which means if you're trying to work quickly, the chances of smudging are a lot higher. Alrighty. Dry faster. Another thing that can speed you up in terms of layout is using things like stickers and stencils. Depending on the type of sticker, for instance, stickers for habit trackers can be really helpful so you don't have to draw out a bunch of little calendars. But if, like me, you're a little bit anal when it comes to laying stickers, this can actually be detrimental in terms of saving time. Stencils can be really helpful for the same reason. For instance, I really enjoy using geometric stencils to draw out shapes quickly and accurately. Oh, that's too big. No, that's too small, but that's fine. Another tip would be to use more simplistic lettering styles, or using equipment that you can use effectively but quickly. I can't brush letters, so I'm just going to use this. Another thing that can speed you up is keeping your workstation tidy so that you know where everything is. Where's my green? They don't need to be exactly in line. It's the illusion of that. That is too many, but that's fine. Okay. What do my decorations look like? I've got... The biggest tip though for saving time when setting up a spread is to limit your decoration or make your decoration ridiculously simple to do. So for instance, not this kind of decoration. If this was a style you were really used to, then it probably would go a lot quicker, but because I'm not used to doodling in this style, it did take me a lot longer. There we go. And then there's some shading. Shading looks good. And as you can see, one of the ways that I, quote, saved time when doing this decoration was just getting a lot more loose with having the colour inside the lines and stuff like that. No, he's crying! No! It's good enough. I love that. That looks great. Let's just touch up that colour. That's beautiful. Of course, if you did still want decoration on your layout, using things like washi tape or stickers or just really simplistic doodles can help. There's a backdrop on this side of the cloud. Oh god, I didn't outline my fucking flower. That looks cute. And then just need drop shadows on the clouds. Oh god, that's good. Then there. Yes. No. Oh no. Oh my god, I forgot the calendar. Oh dear. So, the decorative elements are on the page. The mini calendar is not because I completely forgot about it. How unfortunate. Yep. Well, it's not that bad. I mean, it's a shame that the windows are only like painted on the outside of the house. There's not actually any real windows. Lettering, not the greatest. Probably took too much time to just do like the days of the week. But hey, on to 5 minutes. So if we change this one here and we flip ourselves over. Alrighty. Okay, I can do this. Before I get started, I'm just gonna lay out my supplies because they've kind of been thrown all over my desk. Don't need that one. I can do this. In 3, 2... Nope, I'm gonna have my pen ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1... Okay. Go. It's about here, right? That looks about right. No counting this time. A squiggle is the same as a cloud. 21. Tuesday. Day. What comes after Tuesday? Oh, that's supposed to be a curl, isn't it? There we go, that's a curl. And don't forget your mini calendar. Those are numbers. Don't be fooled. 29, 30, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and goal. And we need a house. Oh, that's not how you do the roofs. That's better. And a flower. Come on, we need to get some color on here. Spirelli. That looks cute. Color. Oh, I don't want to ruin my tombos. That looks good. With the thing down the bottom. The thing down the bottom. And the yellow. There we go. That's looking cute. That's beautiful. And then the yellow stuff. Okay, and the green lines. And the drop shadow on the title. And the coloring in here. And something else. Don't have enough time. Shadows. Drop shadows on all the things. There's no drop shadow on the sun. Get out of there. There was a cloud here. Don't be fooled. The clouds are there. Draw them in! Quickly! No! There we go. Oh dear. Oh no. Okay, so, well, we have each day of the week. We don't have the day numbers, so that was something that I forgot. We got all of the parts of the decoration in, I think. Yeah, I got my spiral. Oh, I didn't do the spiral here. I forgot the color on the mini calendar, but I mean, it's kind of usable. Tuesday. Well, okay, so that was 5 minutes. Let's have a look at 1 minute. Oh dear. Okay. So remember, the aim is to get all of the elements onto the page with the colors. Yeah. And again, because I've thrown all of my stuff all over my desk, relining up my pens. Okay, I can do this. 1 minute. Bring it on. Pen is ready. 3, 2, 1, go. June, the sun. I don't know why I drew lines around it, because those look like crowns. Whatever. Be the sunshine. Bam, bam. And there's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And there's a house, which again does not look like that. And a flower, and a wisp, and a cloud. And another, that is so far off the bottom. And the list. There's the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday calendar. And there's Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. I don't even have any colour on it yet! No, wait! I can't get the pen lid on! There we go! There we go! There we go! That's... Oh, that guy too. There we go. Yes! No! No! Let's just line that up. Yep, nope, that looks cute. Oh, dear. Well, it certainly is something. So, as you can see, we have a space for each day of the week. We're missing the goal section. We're missing the day, well, half of the day titles and the numbers. The mini calendar is obviously the most usable part of this spread. And why not? Because we can. Let's do 15 seconds. Because, you know, can't get much worse than this, but okay. I'm gonna use a ballpoint pen because I do not want to hurt my fine liner. There we go. Just test that it works. Alrighty, it works. In 5, 4, 3, 2... Oh dear. 1. June. Sun. House. And another house. And there's a ship. And a calendar. And another thing over here. List. And lines. I think that, like, this is probably the best one. Pointless. Oh, no. These look like fully formed houses. It's totally fine. And with that, let's have a flip through. So we have the spread in 1 hour. We have the spread in 15 minutes. 5 minutes. 1 minute. And 15 seconds. Oh dear. Thank you for watching, team. If you liked today's video, please do make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you wanted to see more from me, feel free to go check out one of my other videos. Until next time, bye.